In ancient Jericho, a city veiled in antiquity and cloaked in mystery, lived a woman named Rahab. Rahab's origins were humble, her path in life lined with thorns. She was a harlot, a woman engaged in the trade of flesh. That is what defined her existence. She was young and beautiful, had left her parents, but did not have a family of her own. The city of Jericho was famed for its massive fortifications and impenetrable walls, but it was also a hub of vice and indulgence. Within this ancient city, Rahab plied her trade as a prostitute, her life enshrouded in a cloud of whispers and judgment. Built into the towering walls of ancient Jericho, Rahab's house was a dwelling veiled in both secrecy and anticipation. Its location was strategic, offering a commanding view of the city and its surroundings. Constructed with sun-baked bricks and adorned with weathered tapestries, the house exuded an air of antiquity, its facade weathered by time and history. The roof of the house was at the same time the top of the city wall. Sometimes a blood-colored cord was tied to her window, the time of the month when she could not receive customers. Rahab had heard whispers that traveled through the city like an elusive breeze. These whispers carried tales of a distant land, a people known as the Israelites. The whispers spoke of a nomadic people, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, traversing the wilderness in search of a promised land, a realm flowing with milk and honey. The rumors described an unseen God guiding their path, parting seas and bestowing commandments upon them. Rahab, a keen observer of her city and its secrets, absorbed these tales like a sponge soaking up water. Intrigued by the stories of a God who defied nature's laws, she contemplated the implications of their arrival near Jericho. Word had it that their God was mighty, a force to be reckoned with, and their journey was backed by divine promises. As the rumors swirled and the whispers persisted, Rahab discerned an underlying current of fear within the walls of Jericho. The city, fortified and seemingly impenetrable, bore an uneasiness, a fear born from the anticipation of an inevitable clash with the approaching Israelites. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the ancient city of Jericho. Two spies, emissaries of Joshua, the leader of the Israelites, stealthily moved through the city's alleys, their purpose clear, to gather intelligence on the land they were destined to conquer. Their journey had brought them to the heart of Jericho. Aware of the risks that lurked in the shadows, they sought refuge for the night within the city's walls, a daunting task in an enemy territory. It was at this pivotal moment that God guided their footsteps to Rahab's house, an establishment that stood both as a haven and a vantage point. As the spies approached Rahab's abode, the dim glow of candlelight flickered through the windows, casting a dim glow on the surrounding walls. They hesitated, weighing their options, before gathering the courage to knock on her door. Rahab, ever astute and vigilant, opened the door cautiously. The spies, veiled in the guise of weary travelers seeking shelter, spoke of their origins and purpose, to scout the land in preparation for their people's arrival. Sensing the gravity of their mission, Rahab chose faith over fear and offered them refuge within her home. She ushered the spies inside, concealing them from the watchful eyes of the city's guards and inhabitants. However, the entry of the two spies had been noticed. The king of Jericho, informed of their presence, dispatched emissaries to apprehend these intruders, viewing them as a threat to the city's security. Amongst the whispers and shadows, Rahab, ever resourceful and attuned to the city's undercurrents, sensed the impending danger. Rahab knew she had to act swiftly and cleverly to protect them from the reach of the king's servants. As the king's men approached her doorstep, the air thickened with tension. Rahab welcomed them into her home, feigning innocence and concern. The emissaries, unaware of her true intent, inquired about the whereabouts of the spies. In a moment of calculated deceit, Rahab spoke cunningly, leading the emissaries on a false trail. She claimed that the spies had indeed been within the city but had swiftly departed at dusk, just before the city gates closed. She further advised the emissaries to pursue the spies on the road leading to the Jordan River, giving them a direction that would lead them astray. With her quick wit and silver tongue, Rahab masterfully diverted the emissaries' attention, buying precious time for the spies. The emissaries, eager to capture their perceived foes, hurriedly left Rahab's house, following the false trail she had carefully laid out. In reality, the roof of her dwelling had become the sanctuary for the spies when Rahab hid them and covered them with the flax she kept there. In the quiet hours of that night, beneath the canopy of Rahab's flaxen roof, the spies and their host engaged in a fateful conversation. Rahab spoke of the whispers that had reached her ears, the tales of the Israelites' journey, their encounters with neighboring nations, and the might of their God. She recognized the signs of destiny, and a newfound faith in their cause began to take root within her. In turn, the spies listened intently, absorbing Rahab's words and acknowledging the courage she displayed in sheltering them. They struck a pact, a covenant of safety for her and her family, should she mark her dwelling with her scarlet cord, a symbol of their alliance and her faith in their promise. The spies departed before the break of dawn. On the advice of Rahab, for days they hid in the hills surrounding the city. But in the end they safely made it back to Joshua and the Israelites. Rahab's tale is one of redemption and unexpected heroism, a transformation from a life ensnared in societal prejudices to a pivotal role in the divine plan. Rahab harbored the spies, risking her own life and defying the expectations of her profession. In her fateful interaction with the spies, Rahab uttered words that revealed her newfound perspective and hinted at her understanding of the impending fate of Jericho. She acknowledged the power of the Israelites' God and sought protection for her family, recognizing that divine intervention would reshape her destiny. This act of faith, a leap of belief amidst the chaos of her circumstances, marked a turning point for Rahab. The spies, recognizing her courage and faith, assured her safety. Rahab displayed unwavering faith in the God of Israel by inviting her parents and all her extended family into her home when the Israelites marched around Jericho for an entire week. When the walls of Jericho crumbled at the end of the Israelites' triumphant march, Rahab and her family were spared. She transcended the confines of her past and stepped into a future that held promise and purpose. Rahab's transformation from a harlot to a heroine mirrored the city's fall and rise, embodying the notion that salvation and renewal can arise from the unlikeliest of origins. Rahab's journey does not end with her rescue. Her story unfolds further in the biblical narrative. She went on to marry Salmon, a prince of the tribe of Judah. Tradition has it that Salmon was one of the 2 spies saved by Rahab. She became an ancestor of King David and, eventually, Jesus Christ himself. This unexpected twist in her tale is a further testimony to her transformation from a life steeped in stigma to one in the middle of God's people. She had an important role to play in bringing Israel's great king and the savior of the world into the world. In reflecting on Rahab's life, we are reminded that judgments based on societal labels and perceptions may obscure the potential for redemption and heroism that resides within people. Rahab's story teaches us the profound lesson of embracing faith, stepping beyond our circumstances, and embracing the opportunity for change and growth. Rahab, once a harlot of Jericho, is now remembered and celebrated for her courage, faith in the God of Israel, and the remarkable transformation that elevated her from the shadows into the annals of history as a beacon of hope and resilience.